Hello, it's Ron Brown's YouTube channel. We're back here today to discuss the GoPro Hero 13. And now this is not the Hero 13. This is the Hero 12 here. And what we're going to discuss today is whether I'm going to upgrade, from the 12 to the 13. Now, I'll give you a little bit of my GoPro history. First GoPro I ever bought was the GoPro Hero 7. What sold me on the 7 was that it had that electronic image stabilization. When they did that demo where they went to some amusement park and you no longer had all the the bouncing or whatever of the video, all the shakes and stuff like that. That sold me. So I went right out and got the 7, loved it. It was my dream camera that I didn't have to go around with a gimbal and keep it steady, or in tripod, stuff like that. So I did not upgrade to the 8, but I did have the 9, I had the 10, I had the 11, and the 12 here. Wait a minute, and you know what? Maybe, I think I had them all. Maybe did I skip something there? Maybe I had the 9 but not the 10. I forget, but I since the 7, I know it. I think I've had everything but the 8, and maybe I skipped another one in there somewhere. But to the point is, so I had the 12. Now the 13 was just announced in September, am I going to upgrade from the 12 to the 13? I'm going to give this give the stuff up right away. I know some people may turn the video off, but I am not going to upgrade to the 13. I'll tell you why in the course of this video, and it's not going to be a long video. I'm not going to get into a million points here, but I'm going to start off by saying most of the reason I get these cameras is for the image quality. As far as resolution. They all do 4K. This one does up to 5.3K. And the frame rates. I'm not a big person. The super slow frame rates. As long as it has 60 frames, that's enough for me. But if it has more frame rates, that's good as well. And of course, the stabilization. And I think they're on Hypersmooth 3.0 now. But anyhow, the stabilization's been very good for years now. So that's not even really a concern anymore. But why I don't think I'm going to upgrade is. Again, that's my main concern is the image resolution, and as far as I could tell, and as far as the early reviewers have said, they've done nothing to upgrade that. This has the same sensor size, so the video resolution hasn't really changed at all. Looks like the same color profiles. Things like that. Now I know they have some increased frame rates, but they're on these modes where you have to shoot these almost like I don't know what you want to call it, like quick shot type of things, where it lowers the resolution way down to get you like some crazy high frame rates per number. I have no interest in that stuff whatsoever, and anything that I'm not explaining, let's go over to GoPro.com or watch any of the big channels I've reviewed the new GoPro 13. I don't have it. I don't intend to have it. So I'm only speaking from what I've read and seen. So again, since it's not they're not upgrading as far as I could tell the video quality whatsoever. That's my biggest concern. And the thing they're really, selling here is the fact that they brought out a whole line of lenses you can attach to this. They have they've always had sort of a wide angle. I forget what they call that, but now they call it a wide angle. They have a wide angle. They have a macro lens. They have an anamorphic lens. They have ND filters that, when they clipped on, the camera recognizes which ND filter it is and adjusts the settings, to fine tune the ND filter for optimum performance. And also, when you add any of these camera lenses, the GoPro knows that these lenses are on there, and it changes the settings for them. So that sounds great, but it's I think it came out, it's $399, the Hero 13, so about the same price. I think that's the same price the 12 was. But once you start adding all these lenses and stuff to it, filters and whatnot, you probably doubled the price. You're probably pushing $1,000 minimum, for all this. So, I mean, I want an action camera because I can get out of my pocket, use it simply, get great video. I don't want another DSLR experience where I'm changing camera lenses and spending a lot of time fiddling around with the equipment before I could shoot. So, absolutely zero interest in you getting all this. But I understand people do. I mean, if the Hero 13 is going to be your only camera and you need all that stuff or whatever, then I guess it makes sense from that aspect. So, and also they brought new batteries out. Now, these batteries are not compatible with any older GoPros, and the older GoPro batteries are not compatible with this. And all those lenses they brought out, they're not backwards compatible. So almost everything they did, hardware-wise, they brought out for 13 is not backward compatible. So, keep that in mind. Whether, if the Hero 13 is your first GoPro, none of that matters, of course, to you. And we always assume when we're making these videos that everybody's like us and they have all these GoPros sitting around or whatever. Well, that's probably not. That's probably the edge case rather than the normal case that people are worried about backwards compatibility with a bunch of older cameras. So, but anyhow, I digress on that. So moving on from the batteries, there's also GoPros always takes a big hit from consumers over overheating, freezing, what do you call it, a camera, again, I can't think of a better word than freezing. Camera just stops recording or, short recording times. And so that's, I guess the new batteries are supposed to help with that. But to tell you the truth, I saw some of the problems you've been complaining about, but somewhere around, I guess it was the Hero 11, I don't know if it was a 10 or 11, they brought that white Enduro battery out. I just replaced all the old blue batteries with the Enduro batteries, and I haven't had really any issues with, overheating or freezing since I got rid of the old batteries and went to the Enduros. Now, also keep in mind, I don't use the GoPro studio camera. I'm not setting up in the office and turning on 4K 60 or higher, 5.3K 60 higher, and recording for hours at a time. That's not what I do. I use the action cameras almost exclusively outdoors. I live here at the Jersey Shore, so it's warm here in the summer, but not as warm as some other people have it. So I don't really use it in 100-degree heat much or whatever. So I always have airflow on it, outdoors. So I never see any of these that stuff anymore. The freezing, the overheating, since I switched to the Enduro battery. So, I'm not really going to speak to that much because I know people have the issues. I don't. So, but again, I told you my situation. So anyhow, because a lot of those issues, not issues, but for a lot of those things, I did none of that stuff. The increased the new batteries, anything like that means much of anything to me. All I was interested in was better video quality. It doesn't seem to have any better video quality than 12. So I will keep the 12 and wait on the Hero 14 if it when it eventually. The 13 just came out, so I'm kind of halfway tongue in cheek here. It's a year away from September of 2025 before we see the Hero 14, but we'll wait to see what that has to offer here. And I know one of the biggest disappointments was for a lot of people that the Hero 13 did not have the 1-inch sensor. That everybody always, time a new action camera comes out, it's always 1-inch sensor, 1-inch sensor, 1-inch sensor, and nobody's